Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
Second for one. And second and two. Handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle. Finds a little room. Lot more room. And he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and our host, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I apologize. I posted the wrong time frame. I ain't gonna be able for no 4 hours. Can't do four hours. That just can't be me. That just can't be me. Hey, again, I apologize. I'm trying to do too many things and too many things at the same time. Coach basketball and do the show ran into each other, but we got it right this time around. So good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I want to say I want to give my son Quentin Dixon a happy birthday. Birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, son. Love you. Can't wait to see you again. Keep your spirits up. God is always with you, and so am I. Let me see who we got on the line real quick. We got Clearwater, Florida on the line, and we got Columbus, Ohio. So I know the one got to be Matthew. What's up, Matthew? How you doing?
Yeah.
And the other one,
I'm doing good here.
it can't be nobody else but my co-host, Dana the Hater Clark.
Hey, man, well, I'm working myself back. I just been dealing with a lot of family stuff, but I'm back. I needed a break. I needed to come back to the show. And Cam, I gotta call you and talk to you, man. I got an idea, man.
Okay. You know, I'm always open for anything and everything, brother. Anything and everything.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully Mo will be with us tonight. If not, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. You know, it is what it is. Just trying to make things good for us. If you got all your Christmas shopping done, raise your hand. I got my hand up. Dana, you got your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, I celebrate after.
Matthew, you got your Christmas your Christmas shopping done?
Yep, I got done for the last 2 months now.
That's what I'm talking, man. I gotta start being like you, man. I gotta start being like you, being done a month ahead of time, and then get the other stuff out of the way. So I've been all over the place, man. And man, it's not even enough time in the day for me. I'll be honest with you. I need more hours in the day. I just need more hours in the day because I'm just going places, doing things, and just enjoying life, man. Just enjoying life. So let's get to it. Why don't we just do it? So, Dana, I'm gonna let you go first. Talk a little baseball. What is the Atlanta Braves doing right now in free agency? They picking up somebody, dropping somebody off. What they doing? How they looking?
I don't know what they're doing. I got to get to it after 700 million went to the Dodgers. I didn't care. I know one of our people went to the Rays. He signed with the Rays, I think. I can't think of his name.
So, are you saying you got a problem with Ohtani going to the Dodgers? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't have a problem with him going to the Dodgers.
Okay.
I got a problem with him being the $50 million DH.
But then you see he declared most of his money back down the way. You know what I'm saying? He made that decision, not the Dodgers. He made that decision. He said, "I want to bring other players on." He said, "We trying to build a dynasty right here. We trying to."
But in all actuality and reality, for tax purposes, he should have never signed with the Dodgers.
Why is that, Dana?
No.
What, Dana? You hate
Well, they go eat that money up.
So are you hating because he signs with the Dodgers?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. We don't really need the money because he already got 150 endorsement.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, why you want me to take all that money?
So
you could have came to Tampa, but I get it. When you watch winners play, you want to be part of the winner. You don't want to waste that talent. I'm 8, but not decision wise.
Okay.
You don't win the lottery in LA. You don't be married in
LA. So let me take a look at what's going on with your boys out in LA. I mean out in Atlanta. Let's see what's going on. Let me see if I can pull up a little information on your Braves. See what they're doing here.
Yeah, I just got to get back into it.
Let's see, team-wise, Atlanta Braves. What we got going on with them right now? What they got going on? It looked like they released Carpenter just days after the trade. Braves get Carpenter in 3 players trade with the Padres. Let's see here. Braves fill 3 vacancies on coaching staff. White Sox get veteran catchers Stassi from the Braves. Braves acquire infield Fletcher and catcher from the Angels. I guess they sent him somewhere else. I don't know what's going on with the Braves deal. Not really saying too much. Not saying too much. Okay, so here it is. It says the Braves and the Seattle Mariners are in agreement on a trade that will send outfielder Jared Kalinke, left-hander, to Marco Gonzalez, and first baseman Evan White to the Braves in exchange for right-hander Cole Phillips and Jackson Kowar. Sources tell ESPN. And that was last 15 days. So y'all they're staying silent. But when you stay silent, that means you could be deadly. Matthew, what's Seattle doing, brother? They did anything yet?
Yeah. Other than that trade that you just mentioned that happened earlier in the month.
Okay.
4 days after they did that trade, they named Brown the new bench coach and offense coordinator. Which you might remember, Brown, who used to play for the Cubs, Pirates, New Orleans, and back to the Cubs.
Okay.
In the late 90s. And then they signed Tommy Joseph as assistant hitting coach, who used to play for the Phillies back in 2016. And then we signed Tony Armorich to a bullpen coach.
Okay. I think we got Lou on the line. Lou, have you heard anything about? Have you heard anything about the Yankees yet? Did the Yankees do anything at the winter meetings yet, or are they just still relaxing?
Yeah, there haven't any real big moves yet. They're still all thought mode and whatnot. So I imagine that the new year, I think they can make.
Okay. And for my Dodgers, you know, Dana, we got Shotani.
That's right.
And I'm reading here, it says, which team will go all in to contend for 2024 World Series? Will there be other free agents such as Cody Bellinger and Blake Snell landing? Who will make the trade? Who will make the trade that has everyone buzzing? It says the Royals continue spinning spree. Right-hander Michael Wacha coming to Kansas City. Dodgers made that trade for Tyler Glasnow, which in a way I think I honestly think that I don't know if Kershaw will be back with these moves they're making right now, because I think Kershaw might have been, I think he might be done with the Dodgers. But the young Yakamura is his name, I think that's the guy's name.
Yamamoto.
Yeah, he's a big name right now. They said he went to go talk to the Yankees, and he set to talk with, I think, the Braves, and then the last stop will be with the Dodgers. Once he gets to the Dodgers, he's probably, you know, he's not going to go anywhere, because I think Shotani gonna convince him into going to the Dodgers, and it'll be another happy day in LA. Dana, I'll be dancing in the streets when that day comes.
You're starting in LA. The Lakers won the in-season tournament.
Oh, there you go with this.
Trailer for the World Championship, baby. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just happy to be back.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. You can interrupt with that mess, because that's a bunch of mess. We're gonna talk about that too. Talk about they got, man. Come on, title. That's a cup.
Yeah, the little Celtic fan at my job bothered me talking about they gave LeBron that to keep him quiet.
They sure enough did. They sure enough did. I truly believe that. He was all against that. Now,
he's a little
and now he happy. So you know, it is what it is. We okay with that. We all right. So that's what's going on in baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Before you know it, it'll be baseball season. It starts in February. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but has baseball season started earlier? Because I thought it's supposed to start in March. And they talking about.
They
said
it started in March too.
But they got.
It's always been in March.
But they got spring training games from starting in February. The 22nd, the Dodgers and Padres.
Yeah, this year there are teams in Japan. They're starting their season really early. Spring training is going too.
Okay. So that just adds.
Hey, can I start some trouble?
Go ahead, start some trouble.
Hey, how Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts feel about that?
About what?
That's $700 million like that.
They said he said Mookie convinced him to come there. He was a dude to convince him to come there and play. And again, Dana, like I said before, he deferred most of the money after the fact, so they can get Yamamoto or whatever his name is, and any other free agent they want to get now, you know, to come to the Dodgers. I would love to see Corey Bellinger go back there, but I know that's probably not going to happen. But
and don't forget, after that contract starts, once it goes up to the big bucks, it's going to be the Bobby Bonilla day into Shohei Ohtani day.
Yeah, he'll be out of baseball, still getting paid.
So are the Dodgers the National League version of the Yankees?
Yes,
pay all that money and not going to win.
I would say so. I would say they are that. I ain't saying nothing about them not winning. But it is what it is.
Oh, they win, but
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, the thing about it is with baseball, and let's be honest, guys, who who doesn't want to play in Los Angeles in any sport? To be honest with you, you never see
exactly. I know exactly.
You never see winter ever. You might get down. It might get to what 40 degrees at nighttime, and then it's right back up to 60, 70 degrees. I mean, that's other than Florida. Where else would you want to play?
Florida, and California.
Yeah, where else would you want to play? And if you think about Florida, they don't even pay state tax. They don't have a state tax. So that's the advantage of being in Florida. And you can even throw in, you can even throw in Texas, because Texas don't pay state tax. Those two places don't pay state tax. Now Los Angeles is a little different when it comes to taxes and stuff like that. But it is what it is. So I mean, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't get mad if players would go out there. And I'm gonna say this. I was mad with Brian Shaw and Fox to go out to LA, to leave Boston to go to LA, because they took us out being the contenders to being pretenders. So I would never like them two ever again, because they were drafted by Boston and they didn't stay with Boston because they wanted to go to LA. So that's where my issue I have with them, as far as those players going out to LA. I didn't like that, because you had a good team, and LA was already a good team. You made them a better team. You know, they helped them win some ties with Kobe and Shaq and stuff like that. So I ain't really cool with that. But again, who wouldn't want to go to LA? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's where I would want to go if I was an athlete and I'm making good money. Weather's nice. In Christmas, when Christmas time come around, people wearing shorts and things of that nature, and it is what it is. Same thing in Florida. The only time in Florida I don't want to be there is like in September, October, because that's when they had the hurricanes. I just don't want to do hurricanes or tornadoes. I don't want to do that. I mean, now in LA you got to worry about earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's some good things, some bad things to live in Florida and live in California, and you deal with and even in Texas and California, you deal with a lot of forest fires. So those, I mean, you take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I'm okay with that. And even in Arizona, they say that's good for your health, right? If you have asthma or something like that, that air is good for your health too, as well. I really was hoping that we have Mo come on the show, because I wanted him to tell me to take down the sticker that says that something about the Pittsburgh Steelers making the playoffs. Or did I already take it down? Oh no, he said Super Bowl. He said the Steelers were versus the 49ers Super Bowl. Oh man, I didn't. Yeah, I can't. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I think we got somebody else on the line. Is that Curry?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm glad I got both you and Dane on the line today, because we're gonna talk some football, and I need you guys to tell me something. Now, y'all know I picked the Dolphins versus 49ers to go Super Bowl. Now I gotta rethink my thoughts, because y'all Dolphin fans get happy about beating up on the Jets.
Oh no, man.
I'm not saying y'all two, but I got a friend that he called me up. He said, "Oh, you ain't gonna call me up today?" I said, "Yo, you played the Jets." Oh, now I beat the Jets. But last week we lose the Titans, and you called me. I said, "Y'all lost to the Titans." I said, "Titans ain't that good." I said, "You had a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you lose the game." That's why I called you about that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right.
Hold on. I didn't jump off. I didn't need y'all to convince me. I need y'all to convince me that you guys can win that division, because I think that's the only way you're going to get to the Super Bowl is you have to have that number 1 seed. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But wait. Go ahead, Curry.
We can. I'm gonna say, since you jumped off that Dolphin bandwagon for one game, why didn't you jump off that 49ers bandwagon? They lost 3 straight.
Oh, I did jump off 49. No, but I'm gonna say this.
You lose to the Jets.
But I'm gonna say this about the 49ers. Okay, the 49ers have defense, right? Miami is up by 14. They're up by 17 points in the fourth quarter, and they lose to the Titans.
Hey man, that happened.
That's why I have a problem with it. Okay, the problem that I don't have with the 49ers is the 49ers beat teams that have winning records. The Dolphins haven't. So Dolphins have to. Dolphins schedule coming up now. It's going to be tough for them, to win out. But
in all 3 games.
I said before, I felt I had the Dolphins and 49ers going to the Super Bowl, and I had the 49ers winning the game. Because I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think there's no team in the AFC East offensively that can keep up with the 49ers when it comes to score. I think they got the best scoring offense out there. Okay?
But don't you think the Dolphins losing that game to Tennessee was a blessing in disguise?
Silence, Carson.
I personally, I think it woke him up.
But
I feel him on that. That was like his pregame.
Why? Because
it's all out.
I got to disagree with you guys on this one, because that's a game that you up by 17 points in the fourth quarter. You're not supposed to lose that game. I don't care if it's home or Wait, Matthew, what did you say?
Don't forget, not only have they lost in the first quarter, but look how much time was left in that. There's 2 minutes and 56 seconds left.
He brought it up.
They had that usually.
Stop, Dana. Stop. And you lost to a rookie quarterback on top of that. Stop, Dana. Stop, Dana.
I'm like this. If I was the coach, everybody would get that Denver Bronco beat down. Okay. Everybody. That's what I'm telling my team every Sunday.
But you can't beat everybody like that.
Everybody getting that Denver Bronco beat down.
But Dana, you can't beat everybody like that because you play divisional games. So divisional games are tougher in a game like that.
That's what I'm telling my team. I'm not taking my foot off the gas to a 0-0. Yeah.
And I don't disagree with that, because like I said before, I think Miami's the only team in the AFC that can keep up with the Dolphins with San Francisco's in scoring. And I'm gonna say this: San Francisco is a plus 191 in differential in scoring. The next team is the Dallas Cowboys, who lost to Buffalo on the road, again, plus 167. But again, Dallas wins games at home, but they can't win games away from Dallas. So what's only, and I'm gonna say what's only thing's gonna save Dallas to maybe get to the NFC Championship game is that every team in the playoffs, right? They have a 10-4 record, so they're gonna play at home. So they got an advance until they get to the NFC Championship game. They may have to go back to Philadelphia, where they won. We saw they could win in Philadelphia, and they got to go to San Francisco. There's no team other than in Detroit. And Detroit's in the dome, so they got to wear. The weather don't matter to them, okay? But getting back to like Miami Dolphins, so they're plus 147, okay? Only other team in the AFC that's higher than them is Baltimore, is 159. Baltimore, who they played Jacksonville. My man just can't get it done. Trevor Lawrence, he can't get it done. I'm just saying, that was a game that Baltimore was supposed to lose, but they blew them out, right? So
they beat Baltimore.
So Baltimore's a plus 159. So in actuality, Baltimore plays Baltimore plays Miami. Is it this week coming up?
No, Miami plays Dallas this weekend.
Okay, which is going to be a meaningful game.
And then Baltimore.
And then they play Baltimore. Then they play Buffalo again. And the game of Buffalo is in Miami, correct?
Miami. Yeah.
Okay. So y'all got 3 meaningful games that you got to win. And again, my thing is this right here. And I'm just saying, I don't make the schedule. And at the beginning of the year, I think Miami had one of the toughest schedules. So there's some credentials to that, because now it looked like they beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and all of them had losing records. You know what I'm saying? Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants, the Panthers, the Patriots.
Those teams might not have them losing records if the Dolphins hadn't beat them. That's who we had to play.
But I'm saying I'm giving you credit on that. So I'm just gonna look at something real quick. I'm looking at something real quick, because I should have had this. I know I had this somewhere around in my office up here, but I don't feel like looking for it, so I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, let's do this. So we're gonna go strength of schedule. Right now, I'm gonna look at strength of schedule. Okay. So in strength of schedule, you had Baltimore 1, which is impressive because they 10-4 or 10 whatever their record is. The New York Giants
11-3.
We kind of 11-3. We knew New York Giants was not real New York Giants we saw last year. They were in 3rd place, and they end up with a lot of injuries, and so they played a weaker schedule last year. So that made their schedule a little bit tougher. Then Miami is tied for the 2nd toughest schedule in the NFL, right? So Miami's number 2. So I gotta give credence to what the schedule was before the season started, right? Because if you look at the schedule, okay, you have the Chargers made the playoffs, the Bills made the playoffs, the Giants made the playoffs, the Eagles made the playoffs, the Chiefs made the playoffs, Cowboys made the playoffs, the Ravens made the playoffs, and the Bills made the playoffs. So they had teams that made the playoffs last year. So the same thing can go. I can go back and say the same thing about Dallas, and I would say the same thing about Dallas, because Dallas they beat the Eagles, right? And I think that was the only team they beat that had a winning record, but now they got problems on the road, right? Winning on the road, so they need to figure that out before the season ends out. Or if it is wrong this season, now they know what they need to work on is they need to work on winning games on the road. So I don't give credence. I give credence to the schedule at the beginning of the year, because we thought the Jets was going to be better than what they were. We're not. Cowboys, we thought the Cowboys was going to be good. We knew the Ravens was going to be. But Buffalo, we knew Buffalo. We know all 3 of these teams at the end of the season was going to be good. So what I need Miami to do is prove to me that they can win these games. And I think if they were to win all 3 games, and that means that they would be tied with the Ravens, I'm not mistaken, and that makes it. Let me see here. Where we at? Let me go.
If Miami wins all 3 games, they're the 1 seed.
They should be the 1 seed, because I think there might be a tiebreaker in there somewhere. But
no, we have to have the tiebreaker. No,
you had the
I think if the Chiefs tie with the Dolphins, they'll be the number 1 seed.
Who will be number 1 seed?
The Chiefs. Miami.
No, the Chiefs.
No.
Chiefs are not.
If Miami wins out,
if Miami wins out and they beat
number 1 seed,
that means
Baltimore win out.
Yeah, if Miami were to win out, right, that makes them 12-4. If Baltimore loses to Miami, Miami gets the number 1 seed because they beat them.
Right.
Okay. So again, like I said before, I'm still sticking with Miami to rep. If they can win,
get tough.
If Miami wins if Miami balls out and wins all the games and they get the number 1 seed, I pick Miami. I picked that, and that was my my mullick as you can say, I said if Miami has home field advantage, I'm picking them to go Super Bowl. But if they have to go on the road, then that's a different story. Because if you got to come to Baltimore, that's gonna be a different story. If you had to go to Kansas City, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? And even if they were to go to Buffalo or something like that, I don't, you know, but they got to win out. You know what I'm saying? They have to win out. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying they got a tough road to get it done. You know, so I'm still gonna stick with. I still want to stick with Buffalo. I mean, still want to stick with Miami, but I don't know if they're gonna beat Baltimore. Baltimore played the perfect game last weekend. This weekend past.
We're gonna beat Baltimore by 10, sir.
Go ahead.
Miami by 10 in Baltimore.
So let me say this. Let me say this. Okay. Okay. So Dana said Miami Dolphins by 10 over.
It's gonna be Dallas by 2 touchdowns.
Wait a minute. So now let me let's do the Dallas game first. So we got Lou on here. Lou's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Lou, who's gonna win this game between Miami and the Dolphins? I mean Miami and Cowboys.
They got the lose, and they got
Okay, so Lou got Dallas.
We got it.
Over Miami.
Hey, that Lamborghini was
Lou. I mean, Matthew, who you got in this game?
Based off the last year, they have done. Maybe Dallas by 6. Just because they even though they got their yesterday, they do look stronger than what I thought they would be.
Okay, so Dallas over Miami by 6, which we really don't care about the numbers. We don't really care about the numbers. So let me throw this on the board here. I'm put it up there. So Dana and Curry, you got Dolphins over.
Yeah, I have 2 touchdowns. I don't know what the Curry has.
Dana said plus 14. Curry, what you got?
And I'm looking for the win by 10.
Plus 10. Okay, so we're gonna put this up on the board. We're gonna put this up on the board. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna pick anybody because I need Miami. If my prediction is I need my prediction to be right, and for Miami to win this game because they need to win out in order to get to the Super Bowl. But I think that this is gonna be a good game. What Dallas did do though by losing to Buffalo is open the door for the Eagles to win the division. Because the only thing the Eagles got to do is win out, and they're good. They're in. And to me, Seattle, I'm not scared of Seattle at all. I'm sorry, Matthew, I'm not scared of them. They don't scare me none. Is who's quarterbacking tonight for Seattle?
Back tonight, let me see. Geno Smith.
Oh, so he's playing. So that gives him that gives him a better chance. That gives him a better chance to win. But this is what so the Eagles have Seattle, the Giants, and the Cardinals. If they win out, they win the division, but they're in the playoffs now. Okay, so that's why I think the Eagles probably end up winning, because if Dallas loses if Dallas lose any of the games going forward again, they're definitely done. They'll still be in. Now, even though Dallas is in the playoffs, they could look at a lower wild card seed. They're in Miami, and they play the Lions in Dallas, and they're at Washington. Looking at the Lions, I don't know. I think that the Lions have read their own clippings too much, and I think that their defense is not what we thought it was going to be. Rich Davis said it. He said, "I got the Cowboys by 6.5." Let me write that down for Rich. He got the Cowboys. Rich Davis says Cowboys by 6. 6.5 over the Dolphins. All right. So I think the Eagles are safe. Cowboys got to play at Miami. Yeah. That's going to be a good game. I think like I said, I don't know if the Lions are Rich said Eagles are going to lose tonight. I'm not afraid of Seattle. Even though it's out in Seattle, I'm not afraid of Seattle. And they got the Commanders, which they already said the coach is fired. He's like, they give him a chance to clean out his locker, his foot locker, get all his trophies together. They even said, look, we don't need you to touch anything. We're gonna box everything up for you, and it'll be ready to go. Come was it Black Monday? When it comes Black Monday, you ain't gotta do nothing. Wherever you live at, we're gonna PO box everything to you. We're gonna box it up for you, UPS it. You want to UPS, you want to do FedEx, you want to do US Mail, post however you want to do it. We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry about it, we got you. Because he's pretty much done.
Did you say trophies? I mean, what trophies he got?
Oh no, I ain't talking about no. He ain't got no trophies. I'm just saying if he had anything close to a trophy, they gonna want all of that. So that's what Dallas has. Okay. So this is going to be. I'm liking this right here at the end of the season where these games really matter, because it even helps with fantasy football, in a sense, because you got all your fantasy football teams matter now. So they're going to make sure that teams going to play up to par. I still think that I needed Jacksonville to win that game yesterday. They made me so mad. Because I felt like if they were to lose, if they were to win, then that would give my Browns some motivation to try to win that division. So, I don't know. Jacksonville's 8-6, Colts are 8-6, Texas is 8-6. That's going to be a barn burner going down. Kansas City,
division, right?
Huh?
The Browns can still win the division.
Yeah, they can. We're gonna touch on that. Jacksonville's 8-6. Everybody in the division is 8-6, other than Tennessee. Teams that got eliminated this weekend. Rich Davis said Ravens got some war ahead of them. Jacksonville, Colts, Texans are 8-6. So it's going to be tough. They got San Francisco and Miami coming up. So that's why I was going to say to you, Dana, that I felt like the Browns had. Even when I talked about it last week, I said I think the Browns have a good. The Patriots eliminated. Tennessee's eliminated, and believe it or not, the Chargers are not eliminated because they're 5-9. So they can go 9-9.
Carolina's eliminated.
They can go 5-5. They can go 9-9 and try to make something happen. Washington has been eliminated. I think that's why they say he's fired. Carolina's eliminated. Arizona's eliminated. So there you go, have it, and that's what you have right now. So getting back to what Dana was talking about, the Browns, and why I felt like Jacksonville should have been more motivated to win this game than lose the game, because we have the Texans. Got Case. I don't know if Case Keenum is going to be the quarterback or not, because he still might be on the concussion protocol. Probably not. He'll probably be ready to come back and play next week. We got the Jets, and then we had the Bengals. And so that's why I was saying that I felt like we had a chance to win the division if Baltimore could just hiccup and lose a game here or there. I don't want us to get the 1 seed because I don't want the 1 seed because sometimes, well, actually this year I think the 1 seed would be fine because everybody's playing meaning football at the end of the season. So I don't think the 1 seed would be that bad because you're going to get all your starters to play. Okay, looking at Baltimore, who's 11-3, right? They have the 49ers, they have the Dolphins, and they have Pittsburgh. And even though Pittsburgh might not make the playoffs, they play Baltimore tough. It's a divisional game. Nobody wants to lose that game. So if Pittsburgh can hiccup at one, if they can hiccup at 2 of these games, we're right there. We're right there with them. We're right there with them. Now I think Baltimore will probably win by the division because we split with everybody. And if, let's say if we beat Cincinnati, that's two games. We're 2-0 against Cincinnati. But we split with everybody else in the division. So I would have to look at the playoff picture real quick if I could. Let me see what it looked like. Let me go back to the standings real quick. See what's going on here. So in the playoffs, so Cleveland's in the playoffs, so they don't have a tiebreaker for them right now. But if Baltimore were to lose, then they would bring a tiebreaker. So right now, if the playoffs were to start, you have Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the Colts in. Okay, that's 7. Is it 7 teams or 8 teams? Because Baltimore will get the bye, right? So would it be 1, 2, 7? So that means 2 play 7, 3 play 6, and 4 plays 5, which means we will play Jacksonville again. That means Miami will play the Colts. Kansas City will play Cincinnati. So that's how that would pan out. But in a tiebreaker situation, it says like with Jacksonville, a win tie break over Indianapolis, Houston based on the head-to-head percentage. Cincinnati win tie break over Buffalo and Indianapolis based on the head-to-head sweep. The Colts win break tie over Buffalo based on the best winning percentage in the conference games. Division tiebreaker was initially used to eliminate Houston. Indianapolis wins tie breaks over Houston based on head-to-head percentage. There's a lot of scenarios in here of why if teams will get in and why they would get in. So in the NFC, where we have San Francisco, who's pretty much clear front runner to get the bye. You got the Eagles, who are 10-3 right now. They're just there because they haven't played the game. But again, they have the tiebreaker over Dallas Cowboys because of the winning percentage or something like that. Tampa Bay 7-7. This says winner tie breaks over New Orleans based on head-to-head percentage. And you have Minnesota wins tie break over LA and New Orleans based on best winning percentage in conference games. The Rams at number 7 says winner tie breaks over New Orleans based on the best win percentage in conference games. So they're the 7th seed. That's why New Orleans is the 8th seed. Seattle's the 9th seed. So that's the scenarios that we have. But it's really interesting in AFC, man. I think that this is going to be some really good football coming down the end. And the thing about it is injuries going to play a big part because like the Browns lost another offensive lineman. It's hard. Delp is out for the season, which is on the defense side of the ball. So injury is going to play a huge part on who gets to the next level when it comes to the playoffs because it's so tight. And I kind of like the 17-game schedule for real. I think it makes it appealing to everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be really interesting on how this all comes out in the wash at the end, man. And I'm be honest with you. I hope all your teams get in. Some teams can't get in because of whatever the case may be. But I really would love to see Miami get that home field advantage. And Dallas game is going to be huge, right? And if they beat Dallas, it doesn't really hurt Dallas in a sense because it's not gonna move them out of no spot. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the only other team. Detroit gonna win the division, so they'll get a home game. Dallas is in the wild card. Dallas will be in the wild card spot, but then Dallas will end up playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, maybe, and that would be because they are in the NFC South and they win the division, they get a home game. So now I brought it up. Go ahead, Kerry, what'd you say?
I think Tampa Bay could win that thing with a losing record.
Yeah, they could. So that brings me to another point, guys. Do you think the NFL needs to change the ruling on how teams Baker mess around and beat the Cowboys in Tampa? Rich said, should a team that wins the division with a losing record or 9-8 record, should they be able to host should they be the host of a playoff game? Should they go on the road?
No.
Okay, we had one no. Matthew, what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I feel like they gotta keep it, but further down the road, if they want to change it, I would definitely be on board with it. Just depends on how that goes.
Okay.
Because there's been a few seasons where a losing team has been to the playoffs.
Okay. Rich says nope. Division winners should be in the playoffs and play at home their first game. Okay, he says first game. All right, Mo, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, Dana, what's your thoughts on that?
I think, the Bucs. Yeah, I do. I do think the Bucs will host that game. I think the division winner should.
Why do you think that?
The Bucs owe the Cowboys for that book whooping last year and sent Tom Brady to retirement. So do it for Tom.
So that's why you want them. So that's go ahead. Go ahead, Matthew. What you gonna say?
I actually have to list of the 5 teams that had the losing record
And
get to the playoffs.
And how many of those teams had losing record won the game? You have that? I think Seattle and the Saints.
Yeah, I do.
I think Seattle and the Saints were the only 2 teams that had a losing record or had a 500 record and won the division that went on to win the first round.
I think Carolina beat the Cardinals one year.
So here's the list.
Mm-hmm.
1982 Cleveland Browns.
Oh, 82 Browns.
1982 Detroit Lions. 2010 Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
2014 Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
And 2020 Washington Commanders.
Okay. Who did Washington play? Was that the game against?
Let's play Tampa Bay.
I'm going to say I think it's Tampa Bay that they beat. Is that the team?
Yeah,
they lost to Tampa Bay.
They lost to Tampa 31-23.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Kirk Cousins didn't. He missed a touchdown pass. So who did they beat? Who did they beat?
They had Heineke.
No, that wasn't Heineke.
They played Tampa, yeah. What year was this?
He said
2020.
2020.
Yeah, they had Heineke.
No. It wasn't Heineke.
Kirk Cousins was already in Minnesota.
Was he? Okay, so wait a minute.
He was.
Matthew, who did you
He was injured.
Matthew, you know who they played that year?
In 2020?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Tampa.
Who did they beat?
Heineke was the quarterback.
Who did they beat to play Tampa?
They did.
So that was the wild card game.
Okay.
I know I was surrounded by Bucks fans.
Hey,
And I was cheering for Heineke.
Rich puts in, didn't Tebow beat the Steelers as a divisional winner in the Steelers were wild card team? I remember them beating them, but I don't know if
Then Jacksonville beat the Steelers.
that was a while ago. Was Brunell was the quarterback then, I
All
think.
right, so this is COVID year.
I know it was cold. I think it was Heineke.
Okay, so we look at
I might be a year behind.
teams that, let me write this down. Teams that won.
I might be thinking about the wrong
He said,
thing.
I thought Denver won the division that year. Teams
So
that,
the game before the wild card game, he did the Eagles 20-14.
okay. Teams that
And
won.
then the key in that game was Taylor Heineke.
Okay. Teams that won a playoff game with losing record or 500 or better. 500. I got that down as a question. So I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna have an answer for you guys on that one there. So okay, so Kerry, do you feel that Tampa should have a playoff game at home, even if they end up with a losing record?
Yes, I do, because with winning the division, I think you're in that right. I don't think it should matter how many games you win. I know it's not good for a team that in 10 games miss the playoffs and another team win 8 games and make the playoffs. But hey, that's the luck of the draw, man. So yeah, I'm all for it. Don't change it.
Let me see. So Rich says, "Yep, if they win the division, it's only right." Okay, so everybody's in coherence other than me and Lou. I personally think that if a team is not better than 500, if their team has a losing record, they shouldn't host a playoff game. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. I think that listen to me. Listen to what I'm gonna say. I think that for the season, your record counts for what it counts for. But when you get in the playoffs, I think your record should count as far as your seeds are concerned. Okay. Do you get a better game? I don't know if you do, but I'm gonna tell you this though. I think that the teams that are below 500 or at 500, well, they can't be at 500 with 17 games. So they're gonna be 8-9 or 9-8. And Rich said, then get rid of the division and go by conference and take the top 6 teams. That was my point. That was going to be my point, was that you take the seeds, you take your wins and losses count as far as your division, okay? But then once that's over with and the playoffs start, then you go by your seeding, okay? Now, this year, it probably doesn't make sense, right? Because everybody's playing their starters all the way to the end. We see that, okay? But then you take that, you take the Tampa game, you take Tampa, and now they're saying, oh, even though we won the division, okay, which gives you an attaboy, but your seeding is going to be, you're going to have the lowest seed. So that means you go on the road. Okay. So that gives you more motivation to play better than your conference, because you look at Tampa's conference, right? They have Carolina and I think they have Atlanta left, right? So only thing they gotta do is win one of the two. They should be Carolina. So that makes them 8-7. And then because they're 7-7 right now, they make it 8-7. And No, I'm sorry. They got 3 games left. I apologize for that. So they got 3 games left. Okay, so they got Jacksonville, which is a tough game. They had the Saints and they had the Panthers. So, in all honesty, if we look at this in Tennessee, I mean, Saints have been playing bad football. It's just they just can't get it together. I think the coach needs to go, in my opinion. But Jacksonville got to come.
Yeah.
Jacksonville got to play better. Okay, they got to play better because this game matters just as much for Jacksonville as it means Tampa. The Saints game means just as much for the Saints as it means for Tampa. For Tampa, if Tampa loses to Jacksonville, the game that doesn't really matter to them is the game against Carolina, right? So let's say they lose to Jacksonville, that makes them 7-8, and they win the next 2 games, it makes them 9-8. Okay, so if you take the 9-8 part of it, which is not bad, okay, and say you're in the playoffs, but your seeding is not the same because now you shouldn't get a home game because everybody else got double wins. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I think that the NFL might come to that conclusion sometime, not no time soon, because I think every division goes through this every so often. If you think about the teams in your division and think about what teams have always, some teams that don't have they have a 500 or better record by 1 game or whatever, and they get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They may do well. You know, I remember back in the day, not too long ago in the NFC West, you had the Seattle Seahawks getting in the playoffs with 8-8 record or 8-7 record or something of that nature.
7-9.
There you go, 7-9 record. But they won the playoff game. Did they beat the Saints that year? Matthew, if I'm not mistaken.
They beat the Saints after they won the World Championship.
Yep. So
We beat. Yep, that was the same night that Marshall Lynch started the earthquake on the field.
so again, you still have the opportunity. You know, they say, I just want to get in and let's play. And I think,
Hey, let me say this.
go ahead.
If you don't do that, you penalize the team just because they won the division based on a losing record. Then you basically should just go and realign the whole thing and do away with the North and South division and put everybody in either the East or the West, and to take the top 4 teams in the West and top 4 teams in the East, and that's who your playoff teams.
And don't think it's not been talked about. Trust me, don't think it hasn't been talked about, right? Because again, when you have teams that are below 500 or 500 and win a division and they get a home field game, other teams like, man, I just won 11 games and I got to go on the road. Why should I have to go? I have a better record than them. But then I think that sometimes if you do that, you can go off the strength of schedule from the very beginning of the season and see where that puts you at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to feel, what is that? Let's see if I can pull that back up again. So if we were to do that, okay, and we look at Tampa, who could be 500 or better, or whatever the case may be. Tampa Bay is their strength of schedule is 28. In the division, so Rich says the media talks about it, the NFL doesn't. They won't even entertain it. And Rich, and the reason why I'm saying the media does talk about it, and the reason why I think the NFL won't entertain it, because you're always going to have a team that's going to be at that 500 mark, or 9-8, or 8-9 that's going to win a division at some point in level. So you got to look at Tampa Bay at the schedule, the 28th. They got the 20th. They got the 28th easiest schedule in the NFL. In the division, you have Atlanta, who is 30th. You have the New Orleans Saints, who's 29th, and you have Carolina Panthers, who's 16th. So if you think about it, the 16th is like right in the middle. So you take them from 16th on down, that division has the easiest schedule out of all the divisions in the NFL. So you look at that and say, well, strength of schedule. Well, then okay, then they shouldn't have to play. They shouldn't get a game at home. They shouldn't get a game at home because the strength of schedule say somebody should have at least 10 wins by strength of schedule. Rich says the division winners get a home game. That's the reward. You get a home game, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm playing both sides. I'm playing both ends of the candle on this one here. I'm just saying, and I think the NFL won't do it simply for the fact that you will have teams. You'll have teams in the division. Let me see what he says. There's no strength of schedule in the NFL. That got FSU out the playoffs. Well, that's college. We're talking about professional football now, which is two different entities. But my thing is though, I don't see it happening for the simple fact that somebody's going to do it. I mean, you look at Jackson. We all felt Jacksonville had a control over this division. If you look at our predictions at the beginning of the year, we thought Jacksonville could have 12 wins. He said, "You're treating it the same as the CFL." Hey, I'm just trying to make it exciting. I want to see good football from week 1 to week 17. That's all I want. Right? Nope. We felt like Jacksonville was the front runner in the AFC South. Right? You looked at the Colts, they had a new quarterback. Look at Houston, had a new quarterback. Tennessee, we knew was not going to be. We knew Tennessee had some issues going into the season. We didn't think it was going to be this bad, right? I predicted that every team in the AFC North will make the playoffs at the beginning of the season. I said Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the Bengals could make the playoffs. I said the only team I felt that would make the playoffs would be the Pittsburgh Steelers because I think their schedule was going to be tougher at the end of the season. We thought that it's going to be a dogfight between Miami and Buffalo, right? We thought the Jets would be right in there as well with Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. Kansas City, there were some people who really believed in the Chargers, and we see what the Chargers is. They finally fired the coach after getting blown out, which should have been 2 weeks ago. They should have got rid of him. The Denver Broncos had won 7 in a row before they lost to Houston to a backup quarterback. Nobody saw Houston coming in there. Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys, we knew it was going to be a dogfight there. I personally thought the Giants was not going to show up and play like they played last year. I felt Detroit was going to be the leading team in the NFC North. I felt the Packers, Vikings were going to be right there. I know the Packers were going to be as good as they were this year. We all had the NFC South in a toss-up flip coin. We didn't know what was going to get. We knew Carolina wasn't going to be that good. We felt at the end of that season, I would have said I felt the Atlanta Falcons probably would have been the team to beat in the NFC South, but they got question marks going on there. NFC West, we felt the 49ers. People were saying that the Seattle Seahawks was going to be a team to be reckoned with. I like I said, I didn't believe in Geno. And the Rams have come on to be a team that's looking to make the playoffs, but because they have a very young defensive team. So everything didn't go the way we thought it was going to go, right? Buffalo's not playing. It's like we thought they could play. And now they go and beat Dallas. Pittsburgh has faltered out of the playoff spot. Houston has been a good team this year, a very good team. Denver's come back and played some good football. Dallas is playing really good football. Detroit, Green Bay has. NFC South, we thought was a flip. NFC West, everybody wanted to put Seattle in front of LA, and we see how that's going out right now. So if you look at it, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it will ever happen. But they do, like I said, like Rich said, it's been talked about, but I don't think it will ever happen because there's always going to be a division that will be 9-9. 9-8 or 8-9. And to be perfectly honest with you, if you were to look, if I were to bet on it next year, that's kind of hard though. I would have to still stay with the NFC South record-wise, who would be probably right there at 9-8, or I don't see nobody really going to make a lot of noise in the NFC South next year unless something great happens or they get a great coach in the NFC South. So we could see this again next year in the NFC South, maybe. But again, man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really enjoying this season. To see
Atlanta let me down.
see games, man, and I'm gonna give you, for example, watching the Browns and Chicago play yesterday, and Chicago was up 17-7. I said, man, the Browns about to blow this again. What is going on with them? What is going on with their defense? Played excellent the second half, but Chicago's not giving. They're 6-8. They're not giving up. I mean, they're 5-9. They're not giving up. So you're not seeing no team give up at all. Now the Jets against Miami, and you didn't have Tyreek Hill. That was really impressive. The way they scored on them. There's a lot of issues in New York. I think Salah's job is safe. For real. So that brings me to another question to you guys. Who's running the New York Jets? Is it Robert Saleh or Aaron Rodgers? Now, they are 5-9. They're eliminated out of the playoffs. We've heard the rumors that Aaron Rodgers wants to come and play. Do anybody agree with that? Now, I think he's gonna come out and kneel and say that he's the first person to ever come back and play. Hey, Matthew, I just got a thing on my watch says Seahawks general manager declined to say who will start Eagles prior to kickoff at quarterback. Rich says Saleh is running the New York Jets. Rich says if he can play, he will play. So, Lou, you're a Jets fan. Tell me what's your thoughts on should Aaron Rodgers come out and play after having Achilles tendon tear or not this year?
No.
Okay. Dana, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? If he can play, should he play?
I think you sit him out. I think you sit him out. It'll be a waste of time. It's nothing to play for now. He said if they probably would have beat the Dolphins, it would have been something to play for. They don't have nothing to play for. This Zach, and this shit out. The next year, get some better turnovers, some better linemen, and keep Aaron Rodgers upright until you play the Dolphins.
Matthew, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Should he play? I mean, if he can play, should he play?
When I see the Aaron Rodgers situation, he should play now. Will he play? Yes, because each week he's been on the practice show and he's saying each week, I believe I can. And if they didn't medically clear him yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if he played this weekend or the weekend after.
Okay.
Just to say that he did it, and then once he's done that one game, he's done playing for the rest of the season.
Okay.
And then with Geno update,
Right.
they're doing emergency treatment with the groin, and so he might start. Or And Sean Mania.
Okay. All right. Curry, should he, if he can play, should he play?
No, I don't think he should play. I don't think there is the first reward. And still not going to make the playoffs. Or they have left to play. So the only thing you can look at is the injury worse because if that Achilles has not completely healed, then he's probably going to be out another year next year if he goes back and re-injured again this year. So no, I don't think he can. And number two, I don't think he want to play. I think he just wants the spotlight and want everybody to look at me, because every time you see he's got his headset on the sideline, like he's coaching, and he should be over there helping the quarterback over there, telling him what he sees and where he's making mistakes. But he's not even doing that. So no, I don't think he's coming back. I think it's all the show.
So Rich says this is Salah's team. He runs the team. I'm gonna say this: if Aaron Rodgers gets on that football field, that's telling me one thing: he's running that team. Because you never know what can happen on one play. Look at the play that he got hurt on. Look at the play that he got hurt on. He said it's not about looking at me, it's about going into the off season with some wins. Rich, I think he comes out there for one play that says he's the only player that ever came off an Achilles tendon in the same season and got a chance to play. That's the arrogance. He said he's not running the team. You never know with any player. I think Aaron Rodgers is running that team. I'm gonna tell you why. He brought in that terrible offensive coordinator that was his offensive coordinator in Green Bay, who was not calling no plays. Number one. Number two, they brought in the wide receivers that he wanted. Okay. And to me, when you bring in players, and there's nothing wrong with bringing in players that know your system. If that's the system, if you're running the system that he runs, there's nothing wrong with that. But that lets me know that he has a lot of say-so on what goes on with the offensive side of the football. So if he gets out there and plays, I think he has a lot of control over what happens with that team going forward. Now, he may not have no control over who they're drafting, anything like that. But I'm just saying, come free agency-wise, we'll see where they go, the Jets go, as far as what's going to be their priority. Now, Dana has said something about the offensive line not being sturdy or not being good or not being whatever, right? So I know there's a lot of players that have been injured during the season. And I'm just gonna look at the Jets, and I'm gonna look at the injury. I'm looking at the guys that's injured right now. So guys are out. Offensive tackle Carter Warren out for the season. Max Mitchell, offensive tackle, out. His status is out. This is December 17th that happened. Let's go back. Let's go back to August. Okay, so we're looking at August. Let's just go back to let's go to October. They lost their guard Tucker to injury reserve, lost the center to injury reserve. All right, so they didn't lose another. They didn't lose another player until they didn't lose another offensive player until December. Wes Schultzer, guard. They didn't lose another player until December 16th. Max Mitchell, offensive tackle. Carter Warren, offensive tackle. All right. So I don't know if offensive line Dana is where they're going to look forward going to. Rich says his doctor revealed the severity of the tear was a complete tear. HIPAA says that the doctor can't release all the details without Rodgers' consent. I say he might play based on that. And I totally agree with you because we don't know how serious it was, but he had to have surgery. So the surgery had to be a part of it. And then Rich comes back and said the O-line is trash right now. I'm not playing Rodgers. So again, when you look at, I just went through all the players all the players that got hurt for the Jets from August the 7th until right now. And December 17th is when they lost two offensive. They lost an offensive tackle, two offensive tackles against Miami. It says out inactive Sunday against the Dolphins. Neck inactive against the Dolphins. So Dana, like I said again, I don't know what the draft picks look like. And they probably don't have a lot of draft picks, because of what they did with Aaron Rodgers, right? So, I don't know if that's the way they're going to go going forward. But again, if Rodgers does play, he has some. To me, I'm Robert Saleh. Like, look, man, you're not getting out there on the football field. I don't care what you want to say. I don't care what you want to do. It's not going to happen. Now, the last game of the season, if you want to come out and down the ball and get off the floor, get off the court, the field, so be it. But you're not going to run no plays, because I can't see Achilles tendon healing that fast unless to the point where he's like, and the thing about it is, the quarterback that he replaced was arrogant. You know what I'm saying? So you got two quarterbacks with the Packers that were arrogant, and now they're with other teams and they're still arrogant. Well, Brett Favre is probably going to jail for the money that he stole that he hadn't gave back yet for the COVID situation. But again, he's arrogant. You know what I'm saying? And talking about the Packers, look at your boy Love. He's playing good football right now, so he should be better next year.
The Jets have 5 draft picks.
How many do they have in the first and second? Do you have any first, second, or third round?
They have 1 first, 1 third.
Where did they fall? Where did that fall at in the first?
Third. Let me find out for you. It's only show me the actual round.
I'll see if I can pull something up. NFL draft. That's not what I want. Okay, so they got the NFL prospects.
They got them at 6.
They got them at 6. Okay, so Dana, do you pick you pick an offensive tackle? And if you're picking an offensive tackle, the one that they're talking about is a guy from Penn State. He should be in the top 5 as far as drafting. For the draft. If you go to a mock draft, that's who they have in the top 10 draft picks. They have let me see if I can pull it up right here. Mock draft. They got Chicago at 1, Patriots at 2, Arizona at 3, Washington at 4, Chicago at 5 again, Raiders at 6. They got them going after offensive lineman. Dana, you was on point there. Joe Alt, offensive lineman from Notre Dame. But let me see anybody else picking the
protect the blind side.
So you got Chicago going after
Miami go offensive lineman.
They going for quarterback. The Patriots going for quarterback. Cardinals going after Marvin Harrison. Redskins going after offensive lineman, tackle from Alabama. Chicago, they got them going for defensive end. Vegas going after quarterback from LSU. And they got the Jets going after offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Giants going after wide receiver. Tennessee going after offensive tackle from Georgia. Let's see here. Let me see, 10. That's further down the line. Okay. All right. So that's what they have. So Danny, you got. I guess you on point on something right there. I give you credit for that one. So,
hey, man, I just understand the game.
So,
you just gotta protect. You gotta protect. That's the only thing I get the Cowboys credit for. They build for protection first. Offensive linemen, and they got their pieces. If they finally get the offensive pieces through free agency or the draft, they might be all right. Not this year, not Sunday.
Well, Dallas Dallas has money. They gotta give Micah. They gotta get CeeDee Lamb. And if Dak Prescott keep playing the way he's playing, and let's say he runs into that conversation as the MVP, now they gotta give him some money coming forward, because if he goes free agency, he's gonna probably be gone. Because right now they can give another contract extension off of what he has right now. So Dallas got money. They do have money to spend, but how they spend it is a whole different story. A completely different story.
They should have killed Amari Cooper.
So anybody else got anything about football they want to talk about before we move on? NFL football. Oh, before I do that, let's look at where we at. Let's go back to NFL real quick. Let's see here. Okay, so we're in week 16. No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that Aaron Rodgers' injury and he might come back. Do you think that would be more impressive, Aaron Rodgers coming back, or the Terrell Owens coming back from a broken leg playing in the Super Bowl?
I think they broke a leg because he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get hit again.
Yep.
He's going to get hit again. So
I do too, because I think he would have been the MVP if the Eagles had won that Super Bowl.
Yeah. Rich Davis says MVPs would be he has MVPs Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and others. I personally think Christian McCaffrey is probably the leading candidate because he does everything for 49ers. He runs the ball, he throws the ball, he's a slot back, he could be a tight end, he could be the fullback, he could be the quarterback. He could probably do punt returns or kick returns if they ask him to do it. He's a do it all type of guy. He's the reason why that team, to me personally, is as good as they are. If the Rams would have gave up one more draft pick, he would be in gold and blue instead of red and gold and burgundy. That's how close it was. So I would give it to him. I'm not giving it to I'm not going to give it to Brock Purdy for the simple fact that when they went on a 3-game losing streak, he didn't pick that team up. They lost because he didn't have his go-to guys, right? They lost the one lineman for one game. He came back, right? But he didn't do anything to impress me enough to put him in that category. Because to me, he still is a game manager. He's a game manager for that team. And if you have offensive line, you have the weapons they have, somebody's going to be open because you can't double team everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I give him credit for being the player he is, but I'm just saying that Rich said weapons matter. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with weapons matter. But the thing about it is, though, when you don't have your weapons there and you lose 3 games in a row as a quarterback, you can't be in my MVP because you're supposed to bring your game. And I'm gonna say this: you look at Kansas City Chiefs. They got their wide receivers leads the league in drop passes, but they're winning. They're winning. So, Rich, are you saying he's not a game manager, or are you saying he's better than a game manager when it comes to Brock Purdy? Because Patrick Mahomes picked his team up. They're 9-5, right? His stats ain't the greatest. I picked him for fantasy league football as my quarterback. I'll never do it again unless he gets some good wide receivers to come there. Like if he gets like Diggs, who's I think is going to be on the move from Buffalo, no matter what happens, unless they win a Super Bowl. Let me see. I'm saying he's better than the game man. No, he's not better than game manager. I got it. So let's talk about this, guys. Rich says I'm saying that he's better than the game manager. Who believes that Brock Purdy is an MVP candidate? If you do think he did, let's talk about it.
I don't think he's a game manager.
Do you think he's?
I'm going to say what they always say about Tom Brady. He played within that system with the pieces that he has. because we saw when those pieces were missing, he was Mr. Irrelevant. But that'll be anybody if their pieces were missing. So I'm gonna say more of a system quarterback, not a game manager.
Okay. Matthew, what's your thoughts on Brock Purdy? Is he better than game manager? And do you think he should be do you think he should be in the conversation for MVP?
I think he should be in the conversation for MVP. It's way too early in his career for that to be a mention. The way that school, like the weapons he has, if you look at their teams that are playing hard, like quarterbacks that are playing hard, the 49ers basically gave him weapons. Like the organization's like, we got to sign all of these players, re-sign, and raise some talent to make sure that this dude has what he has. Like if you put him on any other team, you see the reality play of him.
Okay. Curry, what's your thoughts?
Yes, I do think he's a game manager, but I'm good with a game manager. Give me a game manager any day of the week because that's the guy who go out there and go to win you some games. He's not gonna mess it up for you. That's what you want. And as far as him being a MVP candidate, I can't give him the MVP candidate because of there's other players that I would put ahead of him right now.
Who would you put in front of him right now?
Well, if I had to put his guy ahead of him right now, I definitely would probably, if the season ended today, I would have to go with either Dak Prescott or maybe Tyreek Hill. But I don't think Tyreek Hill would get it because the MVP always goes to a quarterback. If they didn't give it to Derrick Henry that year, he went for 2,000 yards. They're not giving it to nobody else but a quarterback.
I totally agree. Lou, what's your thoughts on Brock Purdy? Is he a game manager or is he better than game manager? And do you think he should be in the conversation for MVP? Great topic, Rich.
Well, I mean, he hasn't proved the recent years. I can't tell. And I know that he should be in MVP. That like a little bit. He has been 65
Okay. So Rich says if Brock Purdy gets penalized for having a stacked team, if he was a top 5, this wouldn't be an issue. If he was a top 5 pick, this wouldn't even be an issue. I'm gonna say this. Dak Prescott he was a 4th round quarterback, and now his name's involved in MVP because Dallas is winning football games at home and a couple on the road. They lost them on the road. But you lose Amari Cooper, you lose Ezekiel Elliott, and you're still winning games. Okay? You're still winning games. Dak has moved his level of game planning up a little. Now, did it fall short yesterday? It did because you played in Buffalo and it's cold outside and you're not used to playing in the cold weather. It's a cut and dry. I lost somebody. Who did I lose? Columbus. Dana, did I lose Dana? I look like I lost Dana. Hopefully we get Dana back on the line. Hope we get Dana back on the line. But I want to compare him. I want to compare Brock Purdy to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a tight end that gets double teamed every day, every night. And he got wide receivers that just can't catch the football. I'm gonna comment on that real quick, Rich. But they're 9-5, right? I don't know what the offensive line looks like, who they lost offensive line or anything like that. I don't know what they lost. I don't know what Cowboys lost offensive line wise, right? But he moved a notch up in my mind as far as the MVP race because he's winning the games he's supposed to win, and he's throwing the ball. He's making the plays he need to make. Right? Not a huge drop off. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna answer. Give me a minute. Give me a minute to explain myself. Okay. So, you look at the teams that Kansas City you look at the teams. Kansas City went to the Super Bowl last year. They beat the Eagles without Tyreek Hill. I think everybody would agree with me. If there was more time on the clock, I think that the Eagles go down, score, and they win the game. Okay.
Yeah.
But now that he doesn't have Tyreek Hill this year, right? And his wide receivers have dropped the most passes in the NFL. They're 9-5. They're still winning. We're still winning the division. Patrick Mahomes is the guy that leads this team. When Brock Purdy lost, when he lost Deebo Samuels and he lost somebody else on the offensive side of the football, and they lost 3 games in a row. If he's going to be put in that MVP category, those are games that he should have won. Okay. Now the Browns game they won because he missed a field goal. He got him down there to win, but the field goal kicker missed the field goal. Right. But it is what it is. Okay. And if you look at San Francisco, the 3 games they lost to the Browns, they lost to the Vikings, and they lost to the Bengals. And his numbers were terrible. His numbers against the Vikings was 21 for 30, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Okay. Not that bad. The Bengals, 37-17. His numbers in that game was 21 for 31, 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Interceptions sounds, they kind of look alike. And the reason why he threw so much because they were losing the game. So the numbers are inflated because he lost the game. Now you bring back all the weapons, and look what he's doing. He's winning games. No games are close. The Seattle game was a little close. You know what I'm saying? Even the game against Carolina, against the Cardinals, they was coming back. They scored 29 points on a good defensive team. So that's my reason why I can't put Brock Purdy in the MVP race, because the 3 games you lost, you had 2 interceptions in each game. Now the game against the Browns, listen to this. He was 12 for 27, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Now, the teams that he lost to, the Browns probably had a better defense than the Vikings, had a better defense than the Bengals. They lost 19-7. They had a chance to win at the end of the game because the field goal kicker missed the field goal, right? But again, you beat the Panthers of Jacksonville. You beat the Buccaneers. You beat Seahawks. You beat the Eagles, which was the most impressive game out of that. And so that right there, with Seahawks and the Cardinals, like I said, and now they play the Ravens and they play the Commanders. And they got the Rams, right? So they got 2 games that's going to be hard because the Rams haven't beat them in a while. So they're going to try to beat them at the end of the season, regardless of how it stands out for the football team. So Rich says he's beating sub 500 teams. I'm not disagreeing with that. The Eagles was his best win. San Francisco softened them up for the loss. Then he says if Dak loses Kelsey as a left tackle, he's not winning the next 3 games. I don't get that, because Kelsey plays for Kansas City. if Dak loses T. Smith or C.D. Lamb, he's losing the next 3 games. If Pats lose Kelsey and starting left tackle, no Dak. And I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with none of that. But at the same token, though, you look, but Dak's winning, okay, and everything you're saying is if, and what I'm bringing back is factual because he lost his weapons, and he didn't step the team up, and grant you that 49ers got a good defense. They're probably in the top 5 and top 5 is defense in the NFL, top 5. So all the blame don't go on Purdy. It goes on the defense as well. But when you get 2 turnovers and those 3 losses you had, 2 turnovers and 3 losses, and maybe some in the red zone, some in the not in the red zone, maybe them, even if you get 3 points out of a turnover and you're up by 7, then now you're down by 10. You know Brock can't throw the ball like that because he don't have the weapons. But again, in my personal opinion, if you're going to be put in the if you're going to be put in the MVP race, when your team loses certain players, you got to step up. You said the top 10, the defense is number 8. Okay, they're in the top 10, right? But again, when you look at the 3 losses they have, 19-17, 22-17, 31-17, he threw 2 interceptions in all 3 games, except for the Browns game, he threw 1. The other 2 games, he threw 2 interceptions, right? So is that because he didn't have his weapons there? Because again, like I said this once before, if you put the backup quarterback in the same situation, I think they're winning. And I said to you, we lost. They lost the Browns with a missed field goal against the number 1 defense team. And I said before, the Browns were probably the best defense team they played in those 3 losses. But again, your defense is in the top 8. So your defense couldn't help you win a game against the Vikings. Defense couldn't help you win a game against the Bengals because you had 2 costly turnovers that maybe caused the game to be what it was. But again, I think he's a game manager. And as long as he have his weapons around him, he's going to be good. The good thing about it is that he's on a rookie contract. So the 49ers can draft or free agency anybody because their contracts, because they got the money to do it. If he can't run the entire offense, it's all Brock doesn't call the plays. He just executes the plays that call. See, now you're making excuses for him, Rich. You're making excuses because the offense coordinator don't throw the interceptions. He does. Right? But again, when you have when you got McCaffrey in the back, when you got McCaffrey in the backfield, that helps you out. He helps you. That, to me, he's the biggest piece of why San Francisco is good as they are. Because you saw what happened when they got him. That changed the whole team around. Change the whole team around. How many does a pass?
Hey, can I say something?
Go ahead, Murray. Go ahead, Curry.
Okay. I think if you come up on the game manager too much or system quarterback too much, because, I mean, if you say he's a system quarterback because he's got all these weapons around him, you can say the same thing about Montana. He was a game manager and system quarterback. He played in that West Coast offense nearby head coach. But now look at the weapons that Montana had. You're right. Dwight Claw, Roger Craig, and we just, the list goes on and on. So that was probably the biggest game manager you ever on the street right now. Or you could say he was the biggest quarterback.
Okay, so let me say this to you. If that was the case, he went to Kansas City. He didn't have those same weapons in Kansas City. He took to the AFC Championship game, right?
They went on championship in Kansas City.
But he got to the AFC Championship game, right? Right. But did he get him to the AFC Championship game? He can't do it all, but he didn't have those same weapons in Kansas City. If he had the same weapons in Kansas City, maybe he does win the championship, right? Maybe he did. And I'm gonna say this: I think what San Francisco ran when he was there, were head and shoulders above everybody else. Because you took Joe Montana out of it, and Steve Young came in there and ran the same type of offense. Only thing the difference was the Steve Young he could run sometimes, where Joe Montana wasn't going to run. And he said if Purdy was a top 5 pick, this wouldn't be an issue. It still would be an issue because you look at Dak Prescott. He wasn't a top 5 pick. He was picked in with the 4th round or something for the Cowboys, and he stepped up and playing good football right now. So it's not where you picked at. I'm just saying that the system they have around him, if you can elevate yourself around the players that you have to make them better, to me, that's not a system quarterback. That's a guy that can step up and make plays. Like Dana was talking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady has never had an all-pro running back. He never had an all-pro wide receiver other than Randy Moss when they went 17-0 and they lost in the playoff in the Super Bowl. Gronkowski is the closest thing he had to being an all-pro in anything offensively, right? So Tom Brady stepped up this game to be that guy to make the plays for them, because you can't even name the wide receivers that played with him when they won Super Bowls. You can't. Patrick Mahomes, he's lifting his team up, and he don't have a go-to wide receiver right now because they got the most drop passes in the NFL. So Tom Brady, so Patrick Mahomes to me is not a system quarterback. He's the guy that makes the engine run, right? I'm just saying that's my opinion, the way I look at it. And you don't have the Tyreek Hill on your team no more, but you still win it. But if you take Debo off of 49ers, then what do Brock Purdy bring to the table? Because he's not going to run. I'm just saying.
Okay. Let's look at it from a different angle here.
I'm listening.
What happened to the 49ers when Brock Purdy went down in the playoffs?
They lost.
Okay.
But now wait, but we're talking about the playoffs, and the playoffs are a different story because you know who gets all the snaps before the playoffs. Now, if you had now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. And I truly believe this, and I'm not a who's the backup quarterback from USC? Lord have mercy, I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What is the guy? Sam Darnold. I'm gonna say this to you right now. If Brock Purdy gets hurt, Sam Darnold walks on that team, and they don't miss a beat. They don't miss a beat. Because what's the difference between Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy? They neither one gonna run, right? They're a pocket passing quarterback. But if you get you have the same weapons behind. You have the same weapons if you have the same weapons that Brock Purdy had right now, and Sam Darnold is the backup quarterback, he's a backup quarterback. If he plays, I think they still win. And I'm not a big fan of Sam Darnold because he was terrible in with Carolina and the Jets. But the thing about it is that he's a game manager with the system that they have in San Francisco. And Rich says Sam Darnold doesn't have the same touch on the ball as Purdy does.
Right.
That might be true. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. That might be true. But I'm telling you this right now. You don't need to have you really don't need to have that touch on the football when you got IU and you got the other wide receiver 19, whatever his name is. Because you can give them a 2-yard pass and they can take it to the house. He don't need to throw deep down the field unless they're wide open. Deebo Samuels. He don't have to do that. So that right there that's easy for him because now he don't have to rely on deep passes to win the game. And that goes to show you in the 3 games he lost because he couldn't get the ball down the field, and the teams they played knew it. So what they did, they stopped the rush, they stopped the runners from running, and he had to make the calls. He had to make the plays with his arm, and when he did that, there was 2 turnovers in the red zone and out the red zone. I'm just saying that's just my opinion about that, and we might see it come to fruition if Brock Purdy get hurt. I'm not disagreeing about him not being a quarterback, but only thing I'm saying is that I think that you can have the same guy, and Sam Darnold do the same thing that Brock Purdy does because of the system they run. And again, I think the system work. The reason why the system runs well, you have McCaffrey in the backfield that can do pretty much anything and everything. You have Deebo Samuels, who could be a tight end, could be a wide receiver, could be a running back, could be a quarterback. So you got guys that you can hand the ball off to, and they can run down the field 50, 60 yards, and he gets credit for that.
Can I chime in?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, I had to call because it was just too much to type.
Right.
Okay, so if you look at all the metrics, Brock Purdy is top 5 in air yards.
Wait.
The catch. I mean, yeah, we do that too, but you look at his air yards.
Okay, so
Purdy been going down the field this year.
So let me do this. Let's do this because I'm not saying I don't disagree with you, but I'm from the show me state. You got to show me before you can tell me. So let's do this. Let's go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to where we at? What I want to look for. Let's go to stats. Okay. So Brock Purdy is number 2 in passing yards behind Tua. He has 3,000 yards. He has 3,000 yards. Just give him 3,800 yards. 29. Now listen to it. 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. 7. So he threw 4. He threw 5 in the 3 losses that he had. He didn't have all those guys with him, right? All them guys that he had with him, he threw 5 of them. He threw 2 since he had all those guys. Okay, so all those guys come into play for him when he has all those guys with him. He's gonna be good at it. Okay, so he's 3,000 yards second. He's first in touchdowns. Ties 7. He's tied. He has 7 interceptions. His quarterback rating is 76.0. But again, I'm not taking nothing away from his stats. But the 3 games he lost, he threw 5 interceptions in those 3 games.
You're okay. He threw 7 all season.
Right.
7.
But the point you're missing is that he threw 5 in 3 losses. When he didn't, so if he's not a game manager, if he's not a game manager, he's above that. Then he don't throw those interceptions in the 5 games they lost, right? Because he don't have his weapons. So
wait.
Go ahead.
Mahomes doesn't have 29 touchdowns.
Because he don't have 20.
Top 3 in passing yards.
He don't.
He's got everything, but he's not a game manager. That don't make sense.
But the reason why he don't have them because he got wide receivers that keep dropping the ball. Kansas City has their wide receivers have the most drop balls in the NFL. So let's say, for example, if you take a team, no, I'm not. No, I'm not penalizing for that. What I'm saying to you is that this right here. In the 3 losses he has 5 interceptions, right? But if you're gonna bring yourself up to the level of being an MVP in those 3 games, you don't lose by throwing 5 interceptions. If I can see if they lose the game, listen to me. Listen to what I'm gonna say. I can see if they lost the game. I can see if they lost those 3 games because they kicked the last-minute field goal and they lost. It ain't his fault in those 3 games. But they was getting blown out in all 3 games. I'm sorry, in all 2 games, other than the Browns loss, which they had the opportunity to win, but the other 2 games they was getting blown out, right?
22 against Minnesota.
But
We were in a position to win.
wait a
We were
minute.
driving and we just lost.
Wait a minute. So if you look at the score, with that game. If you look at that score in that game, let's go back and look at it real quick. Let's go back and look at it. Let me go with
Look at it.
Where's San Francisco at? Okay. So
We had the ball in our hands when the game ended. Driving.
So, I got the wrong game up. Let me go back. The Vikings. Why did my computer keep moving on me? Okay, the Vikings game. So the score. Listen to me. The score was 16-7 at the end of the half. Then it was. Then it was 22. It was 22-14 going to fourth quarter. You're losing.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing the game, right? So so his numbers are going to be inflated because you're losing the game. So your numbers are going to be inflated to show that you're throwing the ball more. So in a sense, it's inflated because you're losing. Now, why are they losing? Because how many turnovers he had? He had 2 interceptions. Let's look at with the interception. Let's look at. So
Brock Purdy didn't give up 29 points.
Again, but y'all did, but they got good defense, right? I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm not blaming the loss on him. What I'm blaming the loss. I'm not blaming the loss on anybody.
You are.
No. I'm not blaming the loss on him. I'm just saying he threw 2 interceptions in the game that they lost by 5 points. But the defense has something to do with it. But we're talking about him being at the MVP level. So if he's going to be at the MVP level,
I mean,
that game right there, he's not supposed to lose that.
He is number 2 passing, number 1 in touchdowns. He has 7 interceptions.
Okay.
His rating is the highest.
So let me ask you.
He has passer rating, pass percentage. Like, how many numbers do you need me to give you?
Okay, so
Brock Purdy is leading the league in?
So let me ask you a question. He's number 2 behind Tua. Why is Tua's name not in the MVP race then?
Because Tua is dependent upon Tyreek Hill.
That's my whole point. He's relying on Tyreek Hill, and your boys relying on Deebo Samuels to do everything that he does, and McCaffrey as well. So now
Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, in the defense.
So let me say this. Let me say this to you. Miami plays. Curry, where did Miami play the Jets at? Was that home or away?
Miami. That was home.
That was a home game.
Okay. Tyreek Hill wasn't on the team. That's his deep threat. Tyreek wasn't on the team. And they still won?
And that helped him. That helped him with MVP.
But you see what I'm saying? So Tua raised his level to win that game without Tyreek Hill. And the 3 losses that San Francisco got,
he played the Jets.
It doesn't matter who they play. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they play. It doesn't matter who they play. But I mean, but hold up. But again, I'm gonna say this to you: the Miami Dolphins hadn't beaten the team that got to win a record. But it is who it is right now, right? But without Tyreek Hill, he turned his level up and won the game with a 34-0. But when Purdy lost Deebo Samuels, right?
Mm-hmm. And Trent Williams
for 1 game, right?
He lost Trent for 2.
Okay, 2 games.
He lost.
So he lost Trent.
I got a couple questions for you.
Go ahead, Curry.
All right. Hey, if you said it was just the Jets, don't the Jets have one of the best defenses in the league?
They do.
Okay. All right. So that's okay. So they laid a 30 burger on them.
They did. Right. And you know what? But you know what though? Just like defense can't be on the field all game and be effective because they don't have all game. So to stop them.
But
The second question is all game.
My second question is Josh Allen. Been in the league. It's the 6th year. He got 74 career interceptions. Is he a game manager? No, based it off interceptions.
no, no. Josh Allen's not. To me, Josh Allen's not a game manager.
He's got more interceptions than anybody.
I think he takes more risks than anybody does. I'm gonna say that. I just think
And Brock Purdy has more touchdowns.
Exactly.
but again, my whole point is that Tua stepped up against the Jets, right, and won without Tyreek Hill. When Brock Purdy didn't have your weapons, we had Debo, they lost 3 games in a row. So to me, that's
Trent Williams.
And you can say Trent Williams if you want to, whatever the case may be, but again,
Debo is the most important piece of our offense.
and I'm not doubting that, but next man step up. And I'm not.
Come on, man, you're talking about the best ever.
And I'm not gonna say he's the best ever. I'm just gonna say he's one of the best right now.
Okay.
He's gonna now because we talking about some. We can go back and look at some offensive tackles. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Orlando Pace his career might have gave up maybe I'm gonna say 20 sacks in his whole career. Maybe I'm just saying. I'm just going off the top of my head. But I'm saying I'm not taking that away from Trent Williams. But what I'm saying to you is this right here. You lose those games like that, I can't put you in MVP race. I can put regardless of who the Miami Dolphins play, and if they have not beat a team over 500, Tua showed yesterday that he can play without Tyreek Hill and win the game. Regardless of who the team
under 500.
Regardless of who the team is. And you can't say 500 because you know why? They play each other every year, so they know each other better than another team outside the conference. Conference games should be some of the best games. Now, the Jets got some issues. The Jets do got issues, right? They do got issues. Did they lay down? They probably laid down. But again, they didn't lay down at the beginning of the game. They went out there with their intentions on winning. And they thought without Tyreek Hill, he was going to be a piece of cake defensively. So that's what I'm saying. Tua stepped up. I'm not taking nothing away from Brock Purdy at all. He just can't be in my MVP race. McCaffrey, sure.
I can dig it.
McCaffrey, I can definitely put him in my MVP race, right? Because he comes to play every game. When they're trading for him, like I said, the Rams were 1 draft pick away from not having him. I mean, from not getting him. If they didn't give him another draft pick, he'd be in the Rams. Do I think it makes a bigger difference for the Rams? Of course it does, because he's a game changer. That dude's a game changer. He can throw the ball. He can play quarterback. He can do it all, right? But you didn't lose him. You lost Deebo Samuels, which is an integral part of your offense, and you still couldn't win with McCaffrey in the game. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking nothing away from Brock Purdy at all. I think he's a good quarterback. I picked him to win Super Bowl.
You gotta remember, we were without McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Debo.
For how many games? How many games?
Like we keep saying Debo, but we were without all 3 of them.
And I could have swore he played in the game and he came out. He might have came out.
He came out against the Browns. Him and Trent got hurt in the same game.
Well,
and Trent got the lineup against the bye.
So
he came back after the bye, and then lost it.
So he played against Minnesota. He had 15 carries for 45 yards, 1 touchdown. He played against Minnesota. So
Okay.
Okay. And
He
Bengals.
didn't play against the
Let
Bengals.
me see what the Bengals what they did against the Bengals.
In two of them games, he didn't play.
He didn't play against the
Like,
Bengals.
1.5.
He didn't play against the Bengals because Brock Purdy was 6 carries, 57 yards. So y'all didn't have a running game, right?
Yeah.
But you did.
Yeah, we didn't have one.
But you did have defense, right? You did have a defense.
Our defense was trash. Steve Wilkes had to come down out of the booth before we started winning games again.
But
that's not how we play defense.
In that game, Kittle had 9 receptions, 149 yards. Now I'm gonna say this because of Ayuk and Debo and Christian, Kittle's catches it's come down because he has other weapons around him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But still you got
numbers.
But you still gotta look at him anyway, because he's that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of dude.
Now they're talking about Purdy could be the first 4,000-yard passer and three 1,000-yard receivers. 3,000-yard receivers this year.
But now let's look at that 3,000-yard receivers. So I'm not gonna do it, but I tell you what you can do, because you're a 49er fan. Go back and and this is my thing with this. This is where I think they need to change it up. If you throw a 2-yard slant to the wide receivers, the quarterback gonna get all them yards if he runs for a touchdown. I'm saying they do now, but I don't think he should. But look how many you're 49er fans. Look how many bubble screens they threw to Debo. He took it to the house, right?
What was all this outrage when Montana was doing all the same things?
We talking about different time.
Brock Purdy's doing.
We talking about different time frame, brother. We talking about a whole different time frame.
It don't make a difference.
Yeah, it does, because the offense that the offense that San Francisco 49ers ran with Joe Montana was before its time, way before its time, and that's why they did what they did, because nobody could figure out how they could do what they done. That was way before.
Who's figuring out how Shanahan's doing what he's doing? Who figured it out?
I'm telling you, Christian McCaffrey is the reason why y'all are as good as y'all are right now. Do you not believe me?
Okay.
Do you not believe me?
I think Christian McCaffrey is a big piece of why we can do what we can do. But Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't be able to do this. Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, none of them have the efficiency, the same efficiency that Brock Purdy is. He is a machine out here. He's putting the ball where the receivers are going to be, not where they are.
Didn't
like Montana?
Didn't Colin Kaepernick go to Super Bowl?
He did.
Okay.
On his legs.
I'm just saying. Hey, by any means necessary, you saw what Jackson did against Jacksonville last night. He had over 100 yards rushing. Some games you're gonna get it done that way.
He had to.
See what I'm saying? So you got to do some things differently sometimes.
We're gonna see that Sunday when we play them in San Francisco.
Yep, but definitely. The only thing I'm saying is CMC is my MVP on that team. It ain't Brock Purdy, because you
can't go wrong, really.
Because I'm telling you, if you put Sam Darnold back there, he gonna do the same thing.
He's gonna do the same thing.
And I don't like Sam Darnold at all. I don't like Sam Darnold at all.
He got too much. But he got the same problem that Colin Kaepernick had. He can't throw a touchdown. He can only throw a bullet.
But I think that with the weapons y'all have, he can do well. I
don't think so.
I do. Because if he, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell no, I ain't gonna say all that. I'm gonna say the reason why. That's the reason why y'all got rid of Trey Lance, because Trey Lance's offense was for him to create the offense for Trey Lance. It would be 2 different offenses. And it's like, yo, we can't do that. We got to find somebody that can run. Somebody can run
Well,
the same
yeah.
offense that somebody can run the same offense we have right now. They can do exactly what Brock Purdy can do. And Sam Darnold was the person that
And
brought in.
Darnold can't do that.
So why bring
Well,
him in?
he'd be starting.
Why bring him in then?
He has better feet. Darnold's faster. He has better feet. He has a stronger arm. He has all of the things that Brock Purdy don't have.
So if you think that Sam Darnold, so why you don't think they starting Sam Darnold over Brock Purdy then?
Because Brock Purdy can touch on the ball.
When he played in Carolina.
Say that again, Curry.
I said, did you watch Sam Darnold? Carolina?
Yes, I did. I did see that. But you know what? That's the thing about it is though, guys, is that if he was so bad, why would San Francisco get rid of Trey Lance and bring Sam Darnold in as a backup if Sam Darnold can't do the same thing that Brock Purdy can?
Because they figured out that they made a mistake with Trey Lance. We talked about that last year.
I don't think they made it. I don't think they made a mistake with him, right? I don't even think he.
They did. If they did, he would be starting.
No. I think what they did do was they're gonna bring him in and say this is the type of offense. Now, listen to me. The same team they got right now. You put Trey Lance in the backfield. To me, he's another version of Steve Young because now you got to put somebody on him to watch him because he's gonna run the football. With Brock Purdy, you ain't gotta watch him.
Put Trey Lance back there. The Niners go 9-8.
Nah. Now this is what I'm gonna say about Trey Lance. I don't think we saw enough of him with San Francisco to make a judgment on what the record would be. But what I'm saying to you is this right here. You put Trey Lance in the backfield, now you got another runner. You have another runner.
You put Brock Purdy back here, we got another runner.
He ain't running nowhere, man. Brock Purdy ain't running nowhere. Brock Purdy might give you Brock Purdy might give you a 5-yard and a slide every time.
You didn't see Brock Purdy run over the linebacker weeks ago. Run him over.
That's one game. That's one game. Trust and believe me, Brock Purdy is not.
The linebacker.
I seen Carson Wentz do the same thing. So we got somebody else doing the line. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody on Facebook said, yo, if he's a 49ers fan, he's stupid thinking that Darnold is going to start over Brock Purdy. Darnold, there's a case Purdy gets hurt. I don't know where that came from, but let me go back to this. They said Trey Lance is garbage. That's why he got rid of them. Got rid of them. No way he would go 9-8. He's stupid. Nobody's stupid, man. Don't call nobody stupid. Brock Purdy is not a run. Brock Purdy is not running anywhere. He should know as a 49 fan, yo, that dude is stupid. Now there's nobody stupid on here. This is all about opinion. This is opinion. We all talk about opinion. So don't call nobody stupid. That's not what we do here. All right. But I'm gonna say this: the reason why they got rid of Trey Lance is because it would be a whole completely different offense with him in the backfield than it would be with Sam Darnold. If you have Trey Lance in the backfield, now somebody got to watch him because he got to run. That leaves everybody else open. That leaves everybody else open. You can't double team nobody because somebody got to be spying on Trey Lance, right? Now, is Trey Lance accuracy in question? Yeah, that's possible. But I still don't think that they said, okay, I'm sorry, I won't call him stupid, but I think that Sam Darnold will start over Brock Purdy. That's not a good thinking. And then they come back and says, true, very true.
Nobody said that.
He says, true, very true, but he has to be able to throw the ball also, and we saw that he cannot throw the ball at all. Man, listen, I'm not a Sam Darnold fan at all, and we're going over 2 hours. I don't even care because this is a good conversation right now. I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold at all. I'm telling you, but and the same thing that we can say about Brock Purdy with the Jets and with the Dolphins, with the Carolina Panthers, We can say the same thing with Trey Lance. Maybe we haven't seen haven't seen the best of them because we haven't seen enough of them. Now, the thing about it is with
I agree.
That's Trey Lance I'm talking about. Because my thing is, you didn't really get a chance. You didn't really get a chance to see Trey Lance because he got hurt, and they turned around, got hurt again, and it's like, wait a minute, we got something in this Brock Purdy dude. Let's see if we get rid of him, right? And they bring in Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And we saw what Sam Darnold could do with the Jets, but they didn't have an offensive line. We saw what he could do with Carolina. We knew what Carolina was heading for. You know what I'm saying? So, in all honesty, maybe we didn't see enough of both of them. But again, I'm saying with Trey Lance, you put him in the backfield, he's another option to run the football, where Brock Purdy's not going to be an option to run the football, right? Now, I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't run.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Trey Lance was 4-4 because he had 8 shots. He was 4-4 as a starter. Brock Purdy won his first 8 games. 8-0.
But
average 2 touchdowns a game.
But
I just don't.
And I get what you're saying, but at the same token, though, so the guy says that's why the 49ers got rid of him. He can't stay healthy. Trey Lance, I'm talking about. He can't throw the ball, so why keep a hold of him when you can't go somewhere else and be a good backup? Like again, I don't think the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers seen. I don't think the 49ers saw enough of Trey Lance to convince him to keep him, right? Because they saw what they had in Brock Purdy. So the person came back and says, "You're very true with the running part of Trey Lance. Yes, he can. Yes, he's not a Colin Kaepernick, and that's what the GMs of the 49ers thought he had when they traded. But Trey Lance could not throw the ball; he could only run, right? And that might be true.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson couldn't throw the ball. He ends up winning MVP that year. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he balled.
I'm just saying. They said Lamar Jackson could throw down the hash marks. I'm just saying he won MVP. And the only thing I'm saying is that with Trey Lance, it gives you another option to run the football. With Brock Purdy, they're not gonna do a play option run with Brock Purdy in the backfield. I'm not saying that he can't run, but he ain't running he's not running no 4-4. He's not running no 4-3. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But again, getting back to what my point was, I'm not taking nothing away from him as a player, but CMC is my MVP for that team. That's all I'm saying. No way will he run that play for Brock Purdy.
Right.
I'm just saying, hey man, this is a good conversation, right? I didn't get a chance to talk about no basketball. No basketball at all, man. But whoever this is, it says no way they run plays with Brock Purdy, which I agree they won't. And he says, oh yes, for sure, CMC is the MVP.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking nothing away from what Brock Purdy's doing, but I just think that when he had those 3 losses, if he wins 2 of those 3, then I look at him differently. Do we need to talk about the tournament champ Lakers? Stop. Yo, I don't know who that is, but Lakers need to stop that mess talking about they got 18 titles. That's a cup. You won a cup. It shouldn't even be no bad. Like Kobe Bryant said, we put banners up here, world championship banners, not no cup. Not no. Come on, stop with the Lakers. You saw what happened since then. What the Lakers been since they won that cup? Let me look real quick before I get off the air.
Yeah.
Let me look. Nothing. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go back for real. I know I done went over, but
we're talking about practice.
The Lakers are 15-11, right? Let me see. Where we at? We had since the cup, they lost to the Mavericks 127-125. Losses beat the Spurs, who ain't won a game 122-119. Then turn around, lost to Spurs 129-115. Stop it. There's no conversation need to be had about the Lakers. That cup thing is just that cup thing goes down in history for LeBron.
That cup thing is just a practice.
That's all it is. Let's say LeBron won the cup. He's the first person to win the cup, and stop.
Right.
LeBron don't play in back-to-backs. When he stopped playing in back-to-backs, because I know he's been playing a whole lot of minutes. A whole lot of minutes. He played in the loss against the Spurs. Did he play in, let me see here. Let's see, box score. Let's look at this. Oh, he had a calf contusion. So the game they won, they had a calf contusion. The game he plays, they losing. That's more reason why not to talk about him, guys. I'm a Boston fan. You see my banner up there right there. You see my Boston Celtic in the back there. You can't see it because I got the Marshall Falk and I got the Bernie Kosar jacket. Shirt over that. But anyway, guys, hey, it was a lot of fun. Hey, Rich, you got to call in more often, man. Stop going through the writing stuff because I know it's a lot to do.
The typewriter.
Yeah. As a Laker fan, I hate the Celtics. As a Celtic fan, I hate the Lakers. So that's how it goes. I'll see you on Christmas Day. It's a blowout. That's all I got to say. Y'all better be ready. Bring your popcorn because we're about to blow y'all out. Bring your popcorn. Don't and I know in LA, everybody doing their thing. Don't come to the game late because you're gonna get mad. Everybody come down there to pay all that money, sit in the front row. They're gonna be like 50, 60 to 20 in the third quarter. In the third quarter, oh, I didn't waste my money. Can I get my money back? Because they're gonna go to the beach and they're gonna go skydiving. They're gonna go to the beach. They're gonna do whatever. I don't even know why the game's out in LA. That shows disrespectful to my club. But anyway, guys, they said I will bring my popcorn and my ham and my drinks and everything else to the game. Yeah, you're gonna need it because we gonna pound y'all. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna pound that team. But anyway, guys, man, it was a lot of fun. Hey, Rich, man, call in. You got to call in. Too much typing.
Yeah, I got to call in.
You guys, I don't know about you guys. I had a good time tonight. Had a lot of fun, going back and forth. You know, and the thing about it is, what people don't understand is everybody's opinion. You know, and your opinion counts. My opinion counts. But at the end of the day, I picked 49ers to win the Super Bowl. With a quarterback that manages the game, as I think it is. All right, guys, man. I appreciate everybody. I'll let you guys know what my money looks like next week because I'll be off next. Oh, that's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might have to do a game on. We might have to do a show on Sunday, 24th.
And the following Christmas Eve.
And then the first is New. Yeah, we might have to do a back-to-back on 24th and the 30th first. New Year's, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Christmas Eve.
So again, guys, if I don't get a chance to talk to you guys again, I want to wish you guys a happy Merry Christmas. And I'll definitely see you guys before the New Year. Enjoy your holiday, man. And I'm gonna say this to you. Like for me, I don't have my mother or my father around no more. And man, it pains me when the holidays come. It really hurts really, really bad that I don't have my parents. And if you do have your parents around, man, enjoy them as much as you can. Man, love them, kiss them, hug them, tell them how much you love them, you know, and just treasure them, man. Because I tell you, I wish I had my parents around with me, especially during the holidays, man. It is rough. And anybody that don't have their parents know exactly what I'm talking about because you think about all the good memories and you think about how you living right now and how much you want to show your parents how much you appreciate them and things like that. And all that I can do is just wish them a Merry Christmas in my heart and in my prayers. But man, I really wish they was here. If you got family that you don't deal with, man, just send them a text, say Merry Christmas, I love you, and just try to make this place a better place, better world than what it was today. Make it a better place tomorrow. But with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys calling into the show. Man, this is a blast. I had so much fun. We 15 minutes over. And the weird thing is that when I did the show, I put 6:30 to 10:30. And Matthew said, he said, we got a 4-hour show. I said, oh man, I made that. I messed up. I didn't mean to make it a 4-hour show. It's supposed to be a 2-hour show. So if we went 2 hours, 30 minutes, we've been good. But then on the radio that my show's on, they would have cut it. They would have cut the 30 minutes off, which probably was the best part, because that's when we got Rich to come in, man. I really had some fun, guys. I really did have some fun. So you guys take care, man. Enjoy your family as much as you can, man. And I'll see you guys next Sunday or next Monday. All right, brothers. So where are we at here?
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Ghana. Be more careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on Star107FM.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.